Welcome to this video on the Contax macro systems. For the Contax Yashica manual focus system, there was a range of macro lenses made for the Contax range of cameras for use in the close-up work. These were the 60mm f2.8 macro planar. This had a reproduction ratio of up to 1:1. The reproduction ratio is shown in red on the lens barrel. The focusing ring on this lens rotates twice. And the 100mm f2.8 macro planar. Once again, the reproduction ratio is shown in red on the lens barrel. This lens featured moving lens elements. The focusing ring on this lens also rotates twice. And the 60mm f2.8 macro planar C for compact. This had a reproduction ratio of up to 1:2, once again shown in red on the lens barrel. This was a smaller, lighter version of the 60mm f2.8 macro planar. In addition to the Contax lenses, there were Yashica macro lenses, such as the Yashica 100mm f3.5 mm macro. This had a reproduction ratio of up to 1:1, once again shown in red on the lens barrel. There was also a 55mm f2.8 mm macro lens. For greater magnification, there were extension tubes made in 3 different sizes. These were mounted between the body of the camera and the lens. They could be mounted singly or in multiple as shown. When using the extension tubes, MM functionality was lost on later Contax camera bodies, as the lenses operated as AE lenses. So the program modes that set the aperture didn't work. Lens reversing rings were also available for mounting the lenses in reverse, either on the extension tubes or directly for greater magnification. Lens coupling is lost when a lens is mounted in reverse. There was also a Contax Auto Bellows available, which gave more flexibility. There was a cable that attached from the bellows to the camera's cable release, via an adapter to the RTS and Yashica FR series. This enabled focusing to be carried out with the lens fully open, and the shutter release to be triggered electronically from the bellows. The lens is mounted on the front of the auto bellows and the camera body on the rear. The camera's mount can be rotated between portrait and landscape mode. The magnification is set on the auto bellows by moving the lens and backboard on the bellows apart to the required distance. The bellows is then focused by moving the whole apparatus backward and forward using the focusing rail. The Auto Bellows PC supported swing and shift adjustments for perspective control and the ability to mount the lens reversed by rotating the front lens board through 180 degrees. There were optional add-ons for the Auto Bellows. This is the slide copier attachment, used for copying slides and/or negatives. There was also a macro stand. There were a range of different coloured stage glasses for the macro stand. There were special lenses made for use on the macro bellows, a Contax S planar and a Yashica ML bellows lens, which is shown here. These lenses had no helicoid and are only usable on the auto bellows. There were a couple of adapters that could be fitted onto the camera viewfinder for use in close-up work. Both supported a built-in diopter. The magnifier was used for exact focusing. The magnifier displayed only the centre of the image, but could also be flipped out of the way so the complete image could be seen. The second adapter was the right angle finder, which was used to rotate the image to a convenient angle for low angle work. The adapters came with separate connection rings for use with early slide-on Contax viewfinder covers and later threaded viewfinder rings. For the later Contax 645 system, there was a 120mm f4 apo macro planar lens, which was manual focus and capable of 1:1 reproduction ratio. This lens does not support the system's autofocus capabilities. Also for the Contax 645 system, there were extension tubes and a macro bellows. The extension tubes did support autofocus. There were 3 extension tubes, and one is shown here. The Contax N system had an autofocus macro sonar lens capable of 1:1 reproduction ratio. This supported autofocus and had 2 focusing modes, the normal and a limited range focusing mode, which seems to work better for macro work.